Hey, welcome back to Pint with Coach, and today we're going to talk a little bit about weight loss and what you needs done with weight loss and some of the misconceptions that people think about it too. So our beer today we have from Saranac. It's an oatmeal stout, and they're a nice brewery. They do a lot of like around 5% beers, but they all taste really good and everything. So it's we like picking up their mixed packs and everything. So we've got an oatmeal stout today. It's another like 5.5. So with weight loss, one of the things we hear is like people they want to look for like what's the secret workout program, or this workout program is going to do it, or this plan or whatever. And there is no specific plan when it comes to fitness for weight loss. There's some rules that we need to have in place. Outside of those rules, there's no magic thing. There's no magic exercise that's going to get rid of belly fat or anything like that. So from a fitness standpoint, we need to be doing strength training somewhere 2 to 3 days a week at least, and then if we have time, we can get in a couple interval workouts in there as well. I do like getting some type of steady state cardio. When I say steady state, I'm usually leaning towards walking for most people, especially with the clients that we're working with. Most of them are over 40. They don't tolerate running. Their joints don't tolerate running and jogging quite as well. So walking for about 20-30 minutes each day seems to do well to get some extra activity in there. With our strength training, we like things to be upright, total body movement based, and doing deadlifts, doing presses, just different stuff like that. But so once that stuff's in place, it's not a matter of ramping that up more or doing something necessarily drastically different there, or some special program or anything. Basically, it comes down to nutrition, and it comes down to your sleep. So if you are finding yourself stuck somewhere where you're just not seeing the changes that you're looking for in your body, go back and look at your nutrition, look at your sleep. I would probably say look at your sleep first, and if your sleep isn't right where it needs to be, and when I say needs to be, that's somewhere 7 to 9 hours. You're probably thinking like, oh yeah, 9 hours, it'd be like wonderful if I could get that much, and I agree, it is hard. 7's kind of the first place to go with that, and from there, we're basically, if we're not at 7, I try to get people to work at getting closer to that. So, and then once we have 7 down, then we start looking at the sleep environment. So now, what's the temperature of the room? The research kind of supports 68 degrees as the ideal temperature for sleeping. But the biggest thing I tell people, do you feel like you're hot most of the night? And if the answer is yes, you need to. The room needs to be a little bit cooler. Is the room dark? This seems to be a huge disruptor for a lot of people. In fact, Tammy and I recently just moved bedrooms in our house, and the room we had before was very dark. Where the room we have now, there's light posts outside, and our curtains aren't quite dark enough. And we've both noticed that just that little bit of light coming through makes our sleep disruptive. And this is true for a lot of people. It could be a street light, it could be light from the streets, light from an alarm clock or a night light or something in the room. Those all disrupt your sleep and things like that. So the darker the better. And then quiet. If you have a lot of disruptions or things like that, like I'm not a big fan of having leaving the TV on to fall asleep, having music playing in the background or something like that. That being said, there is some evidence with white noise and things like that, but again, I don't know that that's basically necessary. So look at getting the sleep, and then we look at getting the nutrition in place. And here, again, it's not a diet. We don't need to be paleo. We don't need to go keto. We don't need to, get our macros in or any of this stuff. We just need to clean up some things. And for most people, the two big things that we see is too much alcohol and too much processed food. So basically, if we pull back the alcohol a little bit and we pull back and clean up the processed food a little bit, we're going to start moving towards the right direction. And these don't have to be drastic things. If we're having alcohol every night, maybe we pull it back to like 2 nights out of the week where we're not in the middle of the week, and eventually try to get it where it's just on the weekends, or maybe it's just 1 drink a night, something like that. I mean, everybody's going to be different. Our approach to that's going to be a little bit different. And then with the processed foods, just maybe, you know, switching out 1 or 2 things a day for like fresh fruits or fresh vegetables, things like that. But again, this is all going to be individualized. But the biggest point I want to make is it doesn't have to be this massive change. You don't have to get on some drastic diet. Probably the worst thing that you can do is get on one of these medical weight loss doctor supervised plans where they put you on 500 calories and then they tell you not to exercise or anything like that. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. If you aren't bringing enough food that you can't exercise, that makes no sense at all to me. Granted, you probably will lose weight. It's going to be mostly muscle tissue, and you know, the only reason you lost is because you didn't eat anything. So you know, when it comes, just kind of wrapping up here, but when it comes back to weight loss, you know, we want the workouts 3 to 4 days a week. From there, look at your nutrition, look at your sleep. Once those things are in place, those 3 components, everything starts to basically fall in place. So talk to you here next week.